Did you know there's a very special time of day when your body quietly does its most miraculous work? It's when you fall asleep. Most people think nighttime is simply when everything shuts down, but in truth, it's when your brain and your eyes begin their silent night shift. I want you to imagine this. While you're resting peacefully, your brain is like a careful housekeeper, tirelessly sweeping away clutter, damaged proteins, toxins, and the buildup from a full day of thinking, worrying, and remembering. Your eyes, meanwhile, are like a small garden. The light-sensitive cells, those little guards that help you see clearly, are being repaired, renewed, and given fresh life after working nonstop all day. But here's the key: to perform these nightly miracles, your brain and your eyes need raw materials. Just like a construction site needs brick, cement, and power to finish the job, your body needs vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, and antioxidants to repair and protect each cell. Without enough of these, the repair process becomes incomplete. And over time, the small cracks start adding up. Your memory slows down, your vision loses sharpness, and even your sleep feels less refreshing than before. One of my patients in her early 60s once told me, "Doctor, I used to think poor memory and blurry eyesight were just part of aging, something I couldn't do anything about. But once I changed my evening diet, especially paying attention to what I ate before bed, I realized I actually had some control. I woke up clearer, my eyes weren't as strained, and I started to feel confident again." Her story reminded me of something powerful. Sometimes the smallest shifts in nutrition can create changes far greater than we ever expect. Modern science confirms the same truth. Nighttime is the golden hour for the brain to lock in memories, for the eyes to clear away harmful free radicals, and for the entire nervous system to recharge. But if you go to sleep without the right nutrients, say missing the vitamin E that shields your retina, the omega-3s that nourish brain cells, or the magnesium that calms your sleep, it's like trying to build a house without enough materials. The work slows down, the quality weakens, and the long-term consequences accumulate year after year. Would you like me to also translate this into a spoken-style script that sounds even more like a YouTube video, warm and conversational? I want you to ask yourself, am I really giving my brain and eyes what they need before stepping into a long night's rest? A heavy dinner loaded with salt, too much sugar, or skipping nutrition altogether. All of these can disrupt your body's night shift. But on the other hand, if you prepare just a little with the right foods, like a few nutrient-packed nuts or some antioxidant-rich dried fruits, you're giving your body the raw materials it needs for natural repair. And this isn't just about food. It's an investment in your future. Every night you've got two choices: let fatigue and damage quietly pile up, or give yourself the chance to repair, refresh, and come alive again from within. Sometimes the difference comes down to what you choose to eat before you close your eyes. So the next time you get ready for bed, think about your eyes still sharp and clear when you're reading at 70. Think about your brain still sharp enough to hold conversations, to remember precious moments with your kids and grandkids. And then ask tonight, am I giving my body the fuel it needs to make that future real? One of the secrets I often share with my patients over 50 is 4 kinds of dried fruits. Small, yes, but packed with incredible nutrition for the brain and eyes. Let's start with almonds. Just a few soaked peeled almonds can deliver vitamin E, a powerful shield that protects your retina from free radical damage. I once had a patient tell me that after a few months of this simple habit, his morning vision became clearer. No more foggy blur when he woke up. Another patient of mine, Robert, 64 years old, once said, "Doc, I never thought just a handful of almonds could make my mornings this much sharper." And then there are dates, often called the brown gold of the desert. I especially recommend them for people over 50 because they're rich in potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B6, nutrients that help balance blood pressure and support your nervous system. What's fascinating is that dates contain tryptophan, a natural precursor to melatonin, the hormone that guides us into deep sleep. Just 1 or 2 dates in the evening, and you may feel a gentle calm leading you into rest, giving your brain the time it needs to repair and restore. Next up is walnuts. If you look closely, they actually resemble a tiny brain. And nature really is sending us a message. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 ALA, a nutrient that keeps your nerve cells flexible and resilient. On top of that, they provide a natural source of melatonin. I often tell my patients, just 2 or 3 pieces at night, and your memory will thank you the next day. I'll never forget Linda, one of my 70-year-old patients, who told me I started eating a few pieces of walnuts each evening, and now I remember my great-grandkids' names more quickly. No more awkward pauses. And finally, raisins. Tiny, yes, but packed with polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that protect the tiny blood vessels feeding your eyes and brain. They also help keep your blood sugar steady through the night, so your brain never goes hungry in the middle of sleep. I usually suggest about 5 to 7 raisins, just enough to fuel the brain without spiking your sugar. Here's how I like to explain it. Your bedtime snack is like packing for a long journey. If you bring enough food and water, the road feels smooth. If you don't, you'll tire out quickly and lose your way. Your brain and eyes work the same way. Every night they set out on a repair journey and they need fuel. The miracle is this: just a small plate with 3 familiar friends, almonds, walnuts, and raisins, can transform that journey completely. Picture this: a quiet evening. You sit at a small table with a few soaked peeled almonds, a couple of walnut halves, a small handful of raisins, and maybe 1 or 2 dates. You eat slowly without rushing, savoring the natural flavors. 30 to 45 minutes later, once your body begins absorbing them, the nutrients go to work. Vitamin E from almonds shields your retina, omega-3 from walnuts nourishes your nerve cells, and polyphenols from raisins keep the tiny vessels feeding your brain and eyes wide open. All of it prepares you for deep sleep, the place where true restoration begins. One of my patients, a 68-year-old woman, once complained she kept waking up at night and always felt groggy with blurry vision in the morning. I suggested she try this small habit, adding a portion of dried fruits before bed, along with a warm cup of chamomile tea. A few weeks later, she smiled and said, "Doctor, I feel younger. I can read the morning paper without the words blurring, and I remember little tasks throughout the day so much faster." That's the power of small, consistent choices adding up over time. But it's not just about food. Your sleep environment plays a huge role, too. Think of your bedroom like a quiet garden where flowers need peace to bloom. A dark, cool, quiet room. No ringing phones, no blue light glowing from screens. That's the fertile soil where good nutrition can truly work its magic. In that space, sleep becomes complete, and your brain finally gets the chance to renew itself. When you practice this routine, night after night, you're quietly sending a gift to your future self: sharper memory, clearer vision, stronger focus that's harder to distract. More importantly, you're slowing down the wheel of aging, something we all fear, yet so few of us take steps to face. At 60, 70, or even beyond, mental clarity doesn't have to fade away. It can still be yours if you start today. I want you to remember one thing: brain and eye health doesn't come from some magic pill. It comes from small, consistent habits. A small plate of dried fruits in the evening, a warm cup of tea, a peaceful bedroom. Simple, yes, but these are the choices that write the next chapter of living well and living deeply in your later years. Take a moment and imagine this: with just a few small bites before bed, you're giving your brain and eyes a priceless nighttime maintenance package. No expensive therapies, no dramatic life changes, just one simple habit that can open the door to big results. I've seen this firsthand with so many patients over 50. They came to me with the same familiar complaints: fading memory, tired or blurry eyes, restless sleep. And then, after just a few weeks of sticking to this simple routine, a handful of almonds, a few pieces of walnuts, some raisins, and a sweet date or two, they returned with smiles on their faces. "Doctor, I feel younger. My mornings are clear, I can read without strain, and my mind feels sharper than before." You can experience that too, starting tonight. Prepare a small plate, eat slowly, and let your body drift into sleep in a dark, quiet room. By tomorrow morning, you may notice the first difference. And if you stay consistent night after night, month after month, your memory, your eyesight, and your mental clarity will become the priceless rewards. So why not start today? If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about, so they too can enjoy this simple yet invaluable gift of health.